Welcome to Right Steps. We are so excited your school has chosen our program to help raise your students' writing to the next level. We truly hope we can provide you with the resources you need to teach writing with great success and ease. Soon, you are going to be celebrating your students' writing success. If you have not already done so, please pause this video to download and print the accompanying packet available with this training. During this Right Steps kickoff session, we will give you the information you need to begin implementing the Right Steps program with fidelity. We are confident this presentation will answer any questions you might have about the program. If your questions are not all answered here, you will learn how you can get the answers to any remaining questions. Lastly, the Right Steps team hopes to begin to create a partnership with your school in order to increase your students' achievement in the area of writing. The agenda for this training includes answering the questions what and why, what did your school purchase and why, a program overview, a close look at the most important pre-Unit 1 documents, a deeper dive into the unit level documents, and response writing. You will also learn more about the continued support that Right Steps offers. Our goal at Right Steps is to empower teachers to strengthen student writing skills in order to prepare them for future academics and eventually future careers. What you are doing now in elementary school is incredibly important as you are building the foundation needed to make future success possible. Let's start off by answering the question, what did we purchase? Although your school may have purchased a print version of Right Steps available in a binder, every purchase comes with access to eWrite Steps, our online lesson plan portal. eWrite Steps is fast, easy to use, and always up to date. You can access eWrite Steps by visiting www.writestepswriting.com. If it is your first time using eWrite Steps, you will have to register first. Registration information is emailed to the contact person your school provided when your order was placed. If you are unsure of the registration information, contact your school administrator. Once you click the Register button, you will enter the subscription code provided in the email to your school's contact person and choose your grade level. From there, you will create your unique username and password. You will only have access to materials of the grade level you choose. If you choose special education or administration as your grade level, you will have access to all grades. Be aware, however, that your school has only purchased a certain amount of specific subscriptions of each grade level and type. Once the maximum number of users register, that grade level or subscription type will no longer be available to your school for registration. If you have any questions as to how you should register, please discuss this with your administration. If you have special circumstances, your administration can work with us to meet your needs. Additional materials. Each eWrite Steps subscription comes with a kit of additional materials. If you have not received your kit yet, you can still begin teaching the Unit 1 lessons. There is no need to wait for your kit to arrive. Each kit includes a set of classroom posters unique to your grade level. Grades 1 through 5 receive a class set of 30 privacy folders, which includes some student reference materials. If you choose, students can set their privacy folder up around their work area to have a private working space. Kindergarten teachers receive a class set of 30 sound cards. Each teacher receives 30 blue revising pens and 30 red editing pens. Students learn to revise at the end of kindergarten, and they do not learn to edit until first grade. These materials can be ordered separate from eWrite Steps subscriptions or binders at any time if materials should need to be replenished. See our website for ordering information. Next, you might be wondering, why did we purchase Right Steps? The Right Steps program combines research-based best practices, including modeling, thinking aloud, conferencing, and the gradual release of responsibility. It covers all the writing and language standards related to grammar, known as the Conventions of Standard English Standards, through a spiraling curriculum. Our program will help prepare students for upcoming state assessments. It will establish a common language and common practices across your school, which will benefit students and teachers alike. All of the lesson plans and resources are provided in a format that is easy to use and follow. This should allow you the gift of time, as teacher preparation is minimal. Let's examine a program overview. Right Steps covers all the text types required by the Common Core standards, including narrative, both real and imagined, informational, explanatory, including research writing, and opinion. Response writing lessons are included in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. We will discuss these further later in the training. Right Steps recommends teaching our program a minimum of 50 minutes 3 times a week in K and 1, and a minimum of 50 minutes 4 times a week in grades 2 through 5. We suggest you schedule writing every day. The extra days can be used for catching up, free writing and conferencing, publishing using technology, diving deeper into grammar skills, or other writing projects. If your school does not have a 50-minute block to dedicate to writing, you might consider splitting the lessons up across several days, fitting the independent practice time in during other times of the day, or integrating writing lessons into science or social studies time as often as appropriate. Pre-Unit 1 documents. Pre-Unit 1 documents are teacher resources and do not include any lesson plans. Pacing guides and all Pre-Unit 1 materials can be found on eWrite Steps by clicking the Pre-Unit 1 tab. If you have access to multiple grades, first select any grade. Once you access Pre-Unit 1, you can locate the pacing guide. Click to view the document. Here is a 2nd grade pacing guide. All the guides are organized the same way. You can see the duration, the unit name and number, and the main Common Core standards addressed in each unit. The pacing at each grade level is similar. Unit 1 at all grade levels is getting ready for core writing. Unit 2 is real narrative writing, and Unit 3 is informational. Kindergarten and 1st grade have a Unit 2A and 2B, while grades 2 through 5 have a Unit 3A and 3B. Unit A is a precursor to Unit B. Unit 4 is opinion writing, and Unit 5 is an imagined narrative of some type. Kindergartners write poetry, 1st graders write an imagined narrative, 2nd graders write a realistic fiction piece, 3rd graders a fable, 4th graders a legend, and 5th graders a historical fiction piece. Unit 6 is research writing. In the Pre-Unit 1 documents, you will also find the Common Core writing and Common Core language charts. Click to view the documents. First, let's take a closer look at a Common Core writing coverage chart. This one happens to be 4th grade. This chart lists the writing standards and the number of times each standard is taught in each unit. This 4th grade Common Core language coverage chart is arranged in the same way. The chart drives home the concept of the spiraled curriculum. You can see that many of the standards are taught not just once. They are continually revisited throughout the various units. Instruction in the language standards is embedded into the units. Right Steps covers 100% of the language standards that are related to grammar. It is important to know that almost all of the skills introduced do not need to be taught to mastery right away. Other important Pre-Unit 1 documents you will want to be aware of now include the Getting Started and Conferencing Docs packets. The Getting Started packet includes a letter from us, a list of the top 6 things to do to get started, parent letters, an implementation Q&A, and Write Right, tips for getting started with writing in your classroom. The Conferencing Docs packet contains conferencing tips, a list of suggested conferencing materials, a class list to be used to keep track of who you have conferenced with, and several styles of conference recording sheets. You will conference with individual or small groups of students who share the same teaching point during independent practice time. This is a time to differentiate instruction and gather formative assessment data. This shows one style of a conference recording sheet that is available. This particular sheet includes an area to record the student name, date of the conference, the discussed GLOws, strengths, and GROws areas for improvement. These conference notes come in handy to assist with student goal setting and to hold students accountable. They can also be used to keep track of who you have and have not conferenced with, and can be extremely useful during parent-teacher conferences. They also serve as evidence of differentiation. You can choose to use any of the 4 provided conference recording sheets or make your own. Either way, you will need to establish a conference record-keeping system in the first few weeks of the school year. The lessons will specifically indicate when you should begin conferencing with students. Another document you can click on in Pre-Unit 1 that might be of interest in particular is the Grammar Guide. This shows page 1 of a 4th grade grammar guide. Part 1 of the Grammar Guide explains the language standards for that particular grade level in detail and provides examples. You can use it as a quick reference for yourself and while conferencing with students. It is a fast way to show a student a real example of what you might be asking them to do in their writing. You might keep a copy with your conferencing materials. Part 2 of the Grammar Guide includes grammar and convention skills commonly taught or retaught in that grade, but not listed in the standards. In the Assessment Docs packet in Pre-Unit 1, you can locate a copy of the rubric conversion chart, rubric template, and a copy of each rubric used to score the final formal core writing piece in each unit. We will discuss the formal core writing and rubrics in more detail later in this video. Use the rubric conversion chart if you need to enter numerical scores into a gradebook. You can use this chart to easily convert a score from the rubrics included with the program into a percentage. A mathematician created this rubric conversion chart for Write Steps. Every Write Steps rubric has a total of 42 points. If you use 42 as the raw score and enter the number of actual points a student receives, the percentage grade will end up being low. For example, a 32 out of 42 turns out to be a 76%. You will enter 100 instead of 42 as the raw score in your gradebook. Using the conversion chart, you would then enter 86 out of 100 instead of 32 out of 42. The score is now equivalent to an 86%. This percentage is more reflective of the student's performance. The rubric template, also in the Assessment Docs packet, can be used to assess student understanding of various skills, to score a writing piece for an additional content area grade, to assess various closure activities, or for other simple tasks as you see fit. As is, it does not specify criteria. You would print the template and fill in the appropriate learning outcome. The bottom portion includes an example. Another Pre-Unit 1 document that might be of immediate interest is the Technology Docs packet. The packet highlights technology expectations and includes a list of recommended digital tools, including apps for student-teacher file sharing, editing, revising, and publishing. Most of the recommended digital tools are free. The Common Core standards require that students use technology at varying levels. It will also be important in many states to give students the opportunity to use technology in preparation for state assessments. Students should be given the chance, when possible, to not only publish their writing using technology, but also to draft original work, as they may be required to do so on many state assessments. Pre-Unit 1 at every grade level includes several additional teacher resource documents. We encourage you to spend some time exploring the remaining on your own. You can pause the video here if you would like to take some time now to explore them. Next, let's take a look at unit level documents. This is where you will go to view actual lesson plans and the accompanying resources. To view these documents, you will click on a Unit tab. I chose Unit 1 in 4th grade for this example. Every unit includes a Download Entire Unit button. This will download documents for the entire unit into one large PDF file. Each unit also includes a Table of Contents document. Click to view. The first column of the Table of Contents document shows the lesson title and daily focus skills students will learn each day in this unit. These focus skills are directly related to the writing and language standards. The focus skills preceded by a plus sign indicate a new focus skill not previously taught at this grade level. The focus skills preceded by a minus sign indicate a review focus skill. This skill was taught already in a previous unit at this grade level. The second column names the new focus standards by number that are introduced in that unit. The third column names the standards that were previously introduced, so they are now referred to as review focus standards in the lessons. This illustrates the spiraling curriculum. Skills are continually reviewed throughout the course of the program. The last column shows any required advanced preparation and a list of visual aids that the teacher will use during the lesson. All of the listed visual aids are provided by Right Steps. Lessons require very minimal teacher preparation. Let's shift our focus to the daily lesson plan. Once in a unit, you can click any day to view that day's lesson plan. Here, you will find any documents and videos needed for that day, including the lesson plan and visual aids. Some units have a red Show This First button in Day 1. These are short student videos that you can show to your class to introduce them to the units. They do not take the place of the lesson. They are to be shown before you teach that day's lesson. Simply click to view and show the videos. The Right Steps team is continuing to add these. Eventually, there will be an introductory student video for each unit at every grade level. If you click on any document, you can get a closer view. This self-reflection checklist document is available to teachers at every grade level as a visual aid in Unit 1, Day 1. We encourage grade level teams to put this on your team meeting agenda at the beginning of each school year. You should complete this individually and then discuss as a team afterwards. This will help you to determine a list of some of the skills and procedures you will need to teach during Unit 1. This document is also available in the download packet that accompanies this training. Let's take a closer look at a lesson plan. You will notice there is a red note at the bottom of this page that says, "Download to see all pages." That is the indication that you are only looking at the first page. This document has multiple pages. On any document, if you click the Download button, it will open as a PDF file in a new window within your browser. You can then save or print the file as needed. Here is a full lesson plan document. Right Steps lessons are modeled after a writer's workshop format, so each lesson includes a mini lesson typically followed by guided and independent student practice. The teacher conducts writing conferences with individual or small groups of students during independent practice. Let's zoom into the parts of a lesson plan. The header of each lesson plan shows the grade, unit, and day. Next, you will see the lesson title and the standards addressed in that lesson. Standards are embedded into the lessons as daily focus skills. Review skills are continually revisited. You should leave a bulletin board blank or find an area to place a piece of chart paper. Here, you will keep a running list of focus skills as they are introduced. You will continually reference this chart as you teach and as you conference with students. Next, you will see a list of media if applicable. Media might include teacher star videos, we will discuss these later, or student videos that a teacher can choose to show. The next section shows lesson materials or any advanced teacher preparation required. Again, lessons require no or very little teacher preparation. All the visual aids listed are provided for each lesson. The next section shows the lesson steps and the approximate time each step will take. The times noted here can help you split a lesson up across a school day or days if needed. Lessons follow the Madeline Hunter format, so each lesson typically includes these steps or some combination of these steps: anticipatory set, input, guided practice, and/or teacher modeling, independent practice, and checking for understanding, and/or closure. The first lesson step, the anticipatory set, sets the stage for the lesson. It gets the students interested. Often, it also connects the day's lesson with previously learned material. During the input portion of the lesson, the teacher is delivering new information to the students. Afterwards, students often engage in guided practice where they practice, under the supervision of the teacher, what the teacher has just modeled or taught them. This will be related to the daily focus skills. During this time, you can provide additional prompting and support as needed. Teacher modeling of writing and thinking aloud are research-based instructional practices. Therefore, they are included almost daily in lesson plans. Here, the teacher is modeling and thinking aloud while revising a student sample to add more voice. The student sample is provided as a visual aid. Students practice specific skills the teacher has just modeled or taught during independent practice. Daily independent practice time is typically at least 15 minutes long. During this time, the teacher is conferencing. There are two types of conferences mentioned in the lessons: roving and formal. Roving is when the teacher is walking around the classroom and quickly checking in with students to offer prompting or support as needed and to be sure they are on task. Formal conferencing is when the teacher sits with individual students or small groups of students who share the same teaching point for 5 to 7 minutes. The teacher discusses 1 to 2 glows, strengths, and 1 to 2 grows, areas for improvement, with each student. The teacher differentiates instruction and coaches the student to improve their writing. In the lower grades, lessons typically end with students sharing all or portions of their work related to the daily focus skill. In the higher grades, review activities, which can serve as formative assessments, typically conclude a lesson. Often, this is another opportunity to differentiate to meet individual student needs or to engage students in using higher order thinking skills on Bloom's taxonomy. This document, How Teachers Differentiate Instruction Using Right Steps, is also included in the download packet. Besides conferencing, there are several other ways you can differentiate your instruction using right steps. Rubrics can be used to determine goals for individual students. Since the skills and right steps are spiraled, students can gradually improve a skill and master it when they are developmentally ready. Teachers can also vary expectations on the graphic organizers and final products based on student capability. For example, in a first grade opinion writing, some students may be expected to provide one reason, while others might be expected to write 3. A teacher in second grade could require a student to write a 1-paragraph informative essay instead of a 2-paragraph essay. In fifth grade, some students might work with the teacher and have the same topic sentence, main ideas, and conclusion, but write their own details. Others will fill out their organizers completely independently. In all grades, some students might be expected to write basic sentences, while others are expected to expand theirs with descriptors and sensory details. Vocabulary expectations can also vary. Some might use only basic words, while others have enough verbal experience to use wow words. The Right Steps philosophy is to include a mixture of prompted and free choice writing with the lesson plans. Some engaging prompts are included. Other times, teachers are instructed to select their own prompt. You are then free to integrate other subject area content such as science or social studies. Sometimes students are free to choose their own writing topics, which can provide motivation. Students need to feel that what they have to say is worthwhile. In any case, you are always free to incorporate your own prompts, if you choose not to use the ones provided in the lessons. The goals for Unit 1 vary by grade level. In kindergarten and first grade, students learn that we are all writers and are introduced to the sound card. In grades 2 through 5, these lessons establish a common language using the traits of quality writing. In all grades, the Unit 1 lessons are shorter to allow time to establish procedures, routines, and expectations. Research has identified classroom management as the variable that has the largest effect on student achievement. This makes intuitive sense as students cannot learn in a chaotic, poorly managed classroom. Therefore, this time to establish procedures, routines, and expectations is extremely important. Without these in place, instruction will suffer and conferencing will become nearly impossible. Kindergarten and first grade students spend some time looking at a poster where they can see the various stages of a writer. The idea is for students to realize that no matter what their writing may look like now, that they are still writers. The goal is eventually to have fluent writing, but that will take some time and lots of practice. Kindergarten and first grade students also become familiar with using the sound card. K and 1 teachers receive a poster-sized copy of this sound card in their kit. Kindergarten teachers also receive a class set of student sound cards. The first grade sound card is part of the privacy folders that come with the first grade kit. Students will play sound card bingo. Eventually, students will use this as a tool to help them with spelling. If your school uses a specific sound card or alphabet strip with your reading or phonics program, for consistency, you may choose to use that instead of the sound card we provide. You will simply follow the same lesson plans using your reading or phonics program sound card instead. Lessons across all grade levels incorporate a common language known as the 6+1 traits of quality writing. With right steps, schools will be able to develop a consistent language within every classroom. The traits of quality writing are ideas, organization, voice, sentence fluency, word choice, conventions, and presentation. These terms are used throughout lessons at all grade levels, although students are not formally introduced to the traits until Unit 1 of 2nd grade. The traits are subsequently reviewed or introduced if the program is new to the students in Unit 1 in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. Unit 1 only serves as an introduction. Students are not expected to master any skills introduced in this unit. Teachers will discuss many skills and terms that may be unfamiliar to students. Use the language, give examples, and move on. Students will have plenty of opportunity to master these skills at a later time in the spiraling curriculum. During Unit 1 in 2nd through 5th grade, teachers will use the parts of a pizza to represent the traits of quality writing. This serves as a visual reminder and comes as part of the poster pack in the teacher kit. During Unit 1, the class will examine a student writing sample and discuss how it exemplifies each of the 6 traits. Let's move on to assessment. Every unit includes a formal core writing piece which serves as both a formative and summative assessment. Each text type has a text-specific, traits-based rubric that you will use to score the formal core writing. Students even start scoring themselves using the rubric in 2nd grade. In 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, they score themselves and begin doing some self-reflection afterwards in order to set goals. They reflect on what we call in the Right Steps program their glows, strengths, and grows, areas for improvement. Our program also includes opportunities for daily formative assessment. Focus skills that are worked on during independent practice can serve as a daily assessment. For example, students might be asked to underline all the dialogue that they added to their writing piece when this is a focus skill on a particular day. The teacher can then check writing pieces for just this particular item. Closure activities, as mentioned earlier in this training, can also often serve as formative assessments. Don't forget to utilize the Rubric Template in the Assessment Docs packet to assist you with daily assessments. Rubrics will appear as a visual aid on eWrite steps alongside a lesson plan when needed. Remember, you can also find them in the Assessment Docs packet in Pre-Unit 1. If you have a binder, the rubrics are printed on green paper so you can locate them easily. Here is a 4th grade Real Narrative rubric. You can see in the first column that the rubric is organized by the 6 traits. The Common Core standards are identified next to each trait. Below each trait is exactly what you, the teacher, is to look for in student writing. The second column is where you will circle the score, and the last column has room for your comments. In 2nd grade, students begin scoring student writing samples together as a class with the teacher. Next, they practice scoring their own writing. In 3rd through 5th grade, students continue to score student writing samples together as a class. Then they score their own writing on the rubric in pencil before turning it into the teacher who scores the writing in pen. Students in 3rd grade and beyond also complete a reflection page based on their rubric score. It is important for you not to skip the rubric scoring and reflection lessons, as this is how students learn to reflect on their writing and begin setting goals. The scoring scale is at the bottom of the rubric. Students can earn a total of 42 points. If you choose as a grade level to use a shortened scoring scale, perhaps a 0, 1, 2, 3, keep in mind that the rubric conversion chart in Pre-Unit 1 will no longer be useful. You might consider occasionally planning to bring writing samples to grade level meetings and engage in joint scoring of student writing pieces to develop consistency. Visual aids. Various visual aids and graphic organizers are included along with the daily lesson plans. Again, these are found by clicking on the appropriate Daily Lesson Plan Day button. The visual aids are available alongside the lesson plan. Student writing samples are included at various levels of student ability. This is a 4th grade sample. You will use these during lessons as teaching tools. They are not meant to be exemplars. Sometimes students practice scoring them using a rubric together as a class. The samples are often used during lessons to identify glows, strengths of good writing, and grows, areas to be improved. You will occasionally use them to model editing and revising. Here is a 1st grade student writing sample. Graphic organizers are used to help students plan focused and organized writing. Organizers differ based on text type. Organizers across grade levels are similar and build upon one another, so students do not have to constantly learn an entirely new way to plan their writing. Again, this provides consistency across the school. In 1st grade, students learn to write one paragraph with a topic sentence, 3 details, and a conclusion. Students in 2nd grade learn to plan their informational, opinion, and research writing using this 2-paragraph planning sheet. Students will learn to differentiate the purpose of each paragraph. For example, if writing about their favorite sport, each paragraph will be dedicated to a reason why that sport is the best. Students in grades 3, 4, and 5 learn to plan their informational, opinion, and research writing using a 5-square paragraph organizer. This includes an introductory paragraph, 3 body paragraphs, and a concluding paragraph. There is also a 1-paragraph planning document available in Pre-Unit 1, as there are many times when 1 paragraph might be more appropriate for quick writes, writing and content areas, or to provide scaffolding for some students. Planning wheels are used in the Imagined Narrative Units, Unit 5, in grades 3 through 5. These planning wheels help students ensure that they include the elements necessary for a fable in 3rd grade, a legend in 4th grade, and historical fiction in 5th grade. Students in kindergarten, 1st grade, and at the beginning of 2nd grade learn to plan their narrative writing with a picture plan. Additional teacher resources available at the unit level include demonstration videos of lessons. You can access these by clicking on the day buttons within a unit as well. We call these demonstration videos Teacher Star videos. There is currently not a video available for every lesson at every grade level. However, we are in the process of continually adding more videos. Teachers new to the program find it helpful to be able to view a video of another teacher teaching the lesson they are about to teach. Some schools like to use these videos during professional development sessions. Other teachers watch to pick up little teaching tips here and there. In Pre-Unit 1, there is a document titled Demo Videos. This document lists the Teacher Star videos for every grade level that are currently available for viewing on eWriteSteps. As new videos are added periodically, this document will be updated. Next, let's briefly explore the response writing lessons. Response writing lessons are included to emphasize the strong connection between reading, listening, and writing, and to help prepare students for the next generation of state assessments. In these lessons, students learn to respond in writing to a provided text, video, or audio presentation after reading. Response to text lessons are embedded into the units. They appear in the last several days of lessons in 3rd through 5th grade in Unit 2, Narrative, Unit 3B, Informational, Unit 4, Opinion, and Unit 5, Imagined Narrative. It is intended for teachers in other content areas, if you are departmentalized, to also use these materials after students are taught the process for responding. Students learn to use evidence to provide an answer and/or to support their thinking. Here is the 4th grade pacing guide. If you teach 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade, you will notice that response writing is not listed on the pacing guide as a unit name. Various response writing lessons are embedded into the existing units. You can see the units and days which are response writing lessons. We recently revised these lessons after learning that new state testing will require students to be skilled at responding and citing evidence. We want to be sure all students are prepared. In Pre-Unit 1, you will find a response writing packet. This packet includes visual aids used throughout these lessons in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. You will introduce all of these within the lessons as needed, so there is no need to share them on your own. The visuals are also available along with the proper lesson plan. Teachers in grades K to 2 do not have specific response writing lessons. However, the documents are included in Pre-Unit 1 at those grade levels for reference. Let's take a look at a few of those visuals. This visual aid shows different ways students learn to talk back to books to respond to a text of any genre. Students glue this into their response writing journals, which they create during a Write Steps lesson. Having them glue it into their journal will eliminate the need to copy it multiple times. This document provides prompts for students to create a response. The prompts used for an assignment might be teacher-assigned or chosen by the student. This is modeled and taught explicitly within the Write Steps lessons. This visual aid shows different prompts to be used to respond to a nonfiction text. All the prompts on both visual aids are aligned to the standards. There are several other response to text visuals that are used. Among them are Off to the Races, which provides a structure for writing a response, a response writing checklist, and short and extended response writing rubrics. Remember, these documents are slowly introduced to students throughout the lessons. It is recommended that writing teachers take the time to meet with content area teachers so you can explain the use of the response writing journal. Teams should decide whether they want students to carry their journals between classes or if the content area teachers want to create their own. If content area teachers choose to create their own, you will need to share the response writing packet with them. If your school is not departmentalized, be sure to use the response writing journals and resources across all subject areas. Have students respond to texts they are reading, videos they watch, audio they listen to, and charts, graphs, or pictures they are seeing. Support. Write Steps believes a well-supported teacher is more likely to develop new practices and sustain them over time. In keeping with our philosophy of support, we offer live or virtual small group coaching sessions, as well as live large group professional development sessions for an extra fee. PD on-demand videos can also be purchased. An e-newsletter is sent out to our users every month with useful information and tips for writing teachers and administrators. We offer free support 24/7 via eWriteSteps. To get support when logged into eWriteSteps, you can click on the Need Help, Send Comment button. Your grade level team might consider sending a list of questions after a grade level meeting or planning period. Also notice the What's New in eWriteSteps button. Click here to view information about monthly updates made in eWriteSteps and to our curriculum. A few PD on-demand videos are included for all users. The kickoff video as well as a brief eWriteSteps tutorial. Other PD on-demand videos currently available for purchase include Preparing for Writing Workshop, Lesson Plan Walkthrough, Secrets to Great Conferences with Writers, and Formative Assessment. These videos can be purchased for $100 per video per school and are available to all registered users for the lifetime of the eWriteSteps subscription. For more information about the PD On Demand videos and other professional development offerings, visit our website and click Product Info, then Professional Development. We hope you feel prepared to take the next step as you begin to implement Right Steps. We have heard great success stories from schools that have used our program school-wide with fidelity. We hope you can share your success story with us soon. Have a wonderful school year. Please reach out to us if we can do anything to support your efforts.